Hi, I'll just want to put together a really quick video posing a question. Are there any clues to the other four boxes in the past and future word search? So I've spent a fair amount of time searching for and finding words, snaked or boggled in the word search. I did a video on all the terms and phrases from Back to the Future that I found. I have several other lists that I have going, other pop culture references and historical figures and whatnot that I found, and I may share those at some point as well. And I get that they're just based on the number of rows and columns and letters in the word search, that there might be thousands of words that you can form using that method of snaking or boggling. And I know some others have explored that in their posts or videos. So I don't want to go too deep down that rabbit hole. That said, given the amount of time that I assume John Collins Black took assembling this word search, and the clues and the strings of letters that can be found, it seems like he would have caught this one because it seems somewhat obvious once you spot it. So the line that I'm discussing is starting with the N in column A, row 14, and working your way diagonally up to the right. So N, M, D, I, F, N, E, S, N, E, C, H, C, T. And the thing that stood out to me when I spotted that, obviously, was NM is the state abbreviation for New Mexico. Forrest Fenn was based in New Mexico for many years. His art gallery's there. That's where he was living when he hid the treasure and published his book. And if you continue past the NM, among the letters in that single line are included FENN. So you have Fenn. In addition, you have CHEST, chest. So in this one line, you have New Mexico, Fenn, chest. And that may just be a coincidence, but it does seem like that would have caught JCB's eyes. Maybe not. It could truly just be a coincidence, but it did stand out to me as somewhat interesting that in one line here in the word search, not even requiring snaking, but just rearranging of the letters, you can spell Fenn, chest, NM. I do understand that John Collins Black refers to all of his treasures as boxes, not chests. But Forrest Fenn referred to his treasure as a chest, and in the Forrest Fenn box chapter in There's Treasure Inside, there's a quote from Forrest Fenn from his book where he does use the word chest to describe the box that he used to hide his treasure. So, Fenn, chest, New Mexico. Of course, there are three leftover letters, the letters C, D, and I. They do not fit into that particular phrase. And I've explored what these possibly might mean. The only thing that I could come up with, which I thought was a little bit interesting, is if you use a basic Caesar shift, which others have used across the word search to uncover other potential hidden messages. If you use a Caesar shift on CDI, you can get the letters N-O-T, not. And that's by using a Caesar shift of plus 11, I believe. And 11 is the word that runs down column A right to the N in New Mexico. So somewhat interesting, and that would change, obviously, drastically change the meaning of this string of letters or this particular interpretation to Fenn, chest, not New Mexico. So I know that John has said that the 4 chapters in part 2 are meant to be standalone, and that the clues for those particular boxes can be found within those chapters only. Those chapters are meant to live on their own. That being said, if this really is a clue, just hypothetically, if it was a clue saying the Fenn chest is not in New Mexico, sure, it would narrow down the search area a little bit, but it wouldn't get you necessarily a whole lot closer. It would eliminate the north part of New Mexico, north of Santa Fe, which is obviously a fairly large area, but it's just a small section compared to the entirety of the Rocky Mountains south of the Canadian border. So Just a thought, it could be, some kind of either confirmer or hint rather than a clue for the Fenn box. So once I found that, I started looking for potential, clues to other boxes, using kind of shorthand. So the first thing that caught my eye when I started looking was sapphire. You have APP, which many use as shorthand for Appalachian when you're talking about the Appalachian Trail, App Trail. And you have an entire row there where you could potentially unscramble another message. Also in row H, you have letters POEK, which with very basic, readjustment, you can get pokey. So maybe there's clues for pokey box there in that row. There are a couple other rows diagonal where you can spell those same words, but the letters are not quite as close together. So anyway, I don't have any conclusive, thoughts here as to what this definitely means. It's just more of a question or a prompt to you guys to see, if you've come across this, if you have any thoughts on whether this is just absolute coincidence, or whether you think maybe, John, in putting this thing together, actually did sneak in a couple of nods to the other boxes in the word search. So love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.